Come on, you guys. Let's go. That's what I want to see to start a new year. A nice little 4-0 win in the FA Cup against Preston Road today, and when I saw how this first half went, did I think it could end like this? I'd be lying if I told you I saw this happening, my friends, but in the end, I think a combination of Pochettino's little tactical adjustments for the second half, our quality, which was overwhelmingly obvious in that second half, as well as our fitness levels, I think ultimately gave us that very satisfying win in the second half against Preston. Let's get 2024 right. If you're gassed by the result, by performances, by common grads, finally getting minutes, then hit that like button for 2024. Let's start this year right. You know, you guys know I'm superstitious here, so let's get straight back into the vids. So my friends, it's nice that I can discuss more positives and negatives, and I'm really glad that again, even though we didn't start the first half off perfectly, and you can imagine Pochettino was at these guys at halftime. I think the commentators mentioned the point that he was really angry when we were coming off the first half and going down the tunnel. So you can imagine that he was not holding back, because we definitely saw a reaction. We saw a lot more aggression. We saw a lot more energy. We saw a lot more willingness to get in their books, play quickly. We were finding better combinations, and we looked like a different team compared to a team in the first half where I just felt like it's the same old thing we've seen this season of constantly playing in front of defenses. All our guys are constantly behind the ball. You know, our best opportunities only came from Enzo balls over the top. You know, he found Cole Palmer with a beautifully weighted pass, and it's such a shame that when Enzo makes these types of passes, he doesn't get rewarded with the assist that he definitely deserves, because if most people finish off the passes that Enzo set them up with, we'd be seeing this guy completely differently right now. But Cole Palmer, very unlucky in that moment. He tried to Ozil it again. I love the composure. He did the right action in that moment. He just couldn't execute that. But I'm loving the confidence we're seeing from Cole Palmer right now, where he's really just like embracing this game more. And he wants to really just like show off what he's really about. And, you know, it's really nice and good to see. But outside of those moments, I'm seeing guys not attacking spaces inside the box. I'm seeing Enzo Fernandez for some reason. Like, he's in the striker position, winning these headers. Where's Armando Broja? And, you know, before I get into Broja, I did feel like the reason why the first half was so iffy was because we didn't have that natural width. And as we've seen time and time again against teams that sit back, park the bus, protect the spaces, having like negative fullbacks where, you know, it's so important for these guys to hold the width that if they don't have that ability in them, or if they're playing the wrong side, or if they're defenders, a lot of times they play passes backwards. You can't really combine with them. And we've seen this issue time and time again. And is it any surprise yet again, when we make the right type of changes in game, it normally comes from seeing a natural right back in his position and a more suited player at left back. That tends to be the pattern of play behind how we save ourselves and get back into these games. So what does it tell you about our approach sometimes? You know, could we not have just even used Maatsen? Yes, I know that Maatsen is going off to Borussia Dortmund soon, potentially. We had Dylan Williams on the bench. He could have been a useful outlet to use on the left, especially when not much came from Gusto in that first half. So hopefully we can learn some lessons, because I think if we want to climb up the table, win a lot more games in 2024, we're going to need to be able to get past this current issue we have of, you know, being a very flat team, you know, not using the width properly, isolating attacking players, isolating the striker. We must improve on that if we want to get up the table. Otherwise, it's not going to happen for us. So I'm really hoping we see improvements in these areas. The main positive is that we are able to get out of playing this type of football. I think we're seeing this in the past few games now. So certain first halves are a bit slow, but we come back strong in that second half. We come back focused. We come back serious. Maybe it sums up the current development of the team right now, that we only have like one excellent half in us in every single game, but at least we make it matter. Like, we take advantage. Like, we score goals, we kill games off. And I want to see more of this, because it's not very often we're seeing 4 goals scored in the stadium. It's been a very, very long time, to be fair with you. And now let's discuss all the positives in that second half, because many, many came. I think one of the best moments of the first half was Armando Broja's header. Now, first half, I felt like he was kind of struggling a little bit, right? I felt like he was in and out of the game. he wasn't the focal point in the team. He wasn't in the box. He wasn't penetrating the box. He wasn't doing none of that stuff. A lot of times, it felt like he was compensating for the lack of like natural width by drifting further wider. It felt like the only way he could link up with players was if he drifted into wider areas. And that's going to make it easy for Preston to defend because they have no one in the box to really worry about. So the fact that he was more prominent in the second half sums up the tactical tweaks Poch made to get us back in the game. You know, he was a lot more central. He was the focal point in the team. And the amount of chances he had in that second half compared to the first half was night and day. And he took that first goal to break the deadlock perfectly, beautifully. Like, if I was to like rank the header, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 in terms of like technical excellence. I thought it was a super header, super cross from Malo Gusto, yet again picking up another assist for us this season. Nice in-swinging cross to the near post, and all Broja had to do, because the delivery was that good, was just direct it away from the goalkeeper. So very impressive play yet again for Malo Gusto, and you know, he looks a lot more threatening at the start of the second half at left back, but I think once he moved to the right hand side, once Poch made the substitutions of taking off your Gilf, Chris and others and bringing on Silva and moving Colwell back to left back, I feel like we had a lot better balance in the team then, and that's when we really started to demonstrate our qualities and show how far ahead we were. Second goal comes, and again, it's another beautiful header. You know, I've always been a fan of headers. I think it's like one of the classic parts of the game. And I think one of the best guys at headering the ball of his generation is Thiago Silva, because this guy is stupidly dangerous at the near post. And it's all about his intelligence, how he thinks, how he operates. It's not about pure power, pure jumping technique, nothing like that. It's about pure anticipation, pure focus, pure intelligence. You know, he scored a goal very reminiscent to the goal he scored against Man City earlier during the season, and he took that goal perfectly. And, you know, when I look at Thiago Silva, I think to myself, we thought this season he'd be playing backup, but that clearly ain't going to be the case. Maybe next season he might be more backup, and I just think, you know, we'd be missing a lot not having Thiago Silva in the squad. I think I would love him to stay. Hopefully his family would tell Dad, listen, no, Dad, we don't want to go back to Brazil. I'm too settled in London right now. Let's stay. And hopefully he gets an extension, because I think he's too vile to have with the squad. But once we got the 2 goals, you could tell the team like fully relaxed at that point, and we could really start to play some football and really express ourselves a lot more. You know, so many great passages of play. Broja very unlucky not to score more goals in the second half. I'm looking at a near post effort and another identical effort from a Mudryk cross in the box. And we're just, in general, increasing our shot output. And that's what you want to see. But I think one of the goals that you could argue is one of the goals of the day was Raheem Sterling scoring yet again another free kick from the left-hand side in an identical manner to the goal he scored earlier against, I can't even remember who the team is on the top of my head right now, but you know, he really came to life a lot more. And is it any surprise that the wingers started to wing when they had proper support alongside them? You know, like when Gusto was pushing up close to Mudryk looks a bit better. Raheem Sterling on the right and on the left hand side, he was looking good as well too, and he took his goal expertly. And it was a nice little icing on the cake. But I think maybe the best team goal of the game. I mean, we scored a nice variety of goals today, like a cross, two set pieces, and obviously the final team play goal. You know, I love to see more goals like this. I don't think it's as easy to do in the Premier League, though. Obviously, Preston Road were, you know, they're tired. They were out of that. I mean, we took advantage, basically, and we easily could have made it like 5 by the time the whistle finally caught the game off. But that team goal, the patience we kept moving it left to right, forcing Preston Road out of position, the composure to keep it in tight spaces too, and the nice little tempo switches, you know, quick 1-2s to play around them. Somehow the ball finds itself into Raheem Sterling, who's through on goal. A bit of fortune, but I think it's what I keep saying, you force your own luck. I think the overall play was that good that we deserved to get something from that. And it was nice to see Enzo Fernandez, you know, getting onto the far post to put it in the back of the net. Now, I don't know why VAR took 10 years to realise what we all saw in 3 seconds. The guy was onside. Were they looking at a handball? I don't know, but after seeing it one time, you'll clock, this is no way in hell an intentional handball. So, you know, we made it 4, and the job's done, and it's a nice way to start 2024. A few more positives though. It was nice to see Pochettino finally give opportunities to common grads. Of course, Gilchrist playing the first 60 minutes, and I feel like with this guy's mentality, he ain't phased. He is not nervous. He is instantly ready. He is in tune. He is dialed in. He is dialed into the game. And listen, I'm not expecting to do like Danny Alves at right back. But in terms of what he had to do, he was one of the best players in the first half, getting forwards, winning his tackles, getting tight, playing quickly. I thought his build-up out from the back too was generally good throughout the game. And I think it was purely for tactical reasons that he was taken off in the end. I mean, Poch could have taken off Disasi, but he's going to keep things safe and leave that experience on. But with Gilchrist starting his first game to this level, I'm sorry, it makes me think, and I say this all the time, like, what is this fascination and desperation to buy yet another centre-back? Trevor Chalobah, in my opinion, is more than good enough to remain here. And I think Gilchrist and players like this, your Humphreys, you leave the final positions of players like this to show what they can do. I don't see the utility in spending another, 50, 60 mil for someone to fight it out for two positions in central positions. It don't make no sense to me. So hopefully it's a wake-up call today that we actually have talents at this club. Of course, Golding coming on to make his first professional start, for Chelsea Football Club, and very unlucky to not make it 5. Beautiful little backheel flick to just keep the flow of that move going. And when Madueke played the cross inside the box again, unfortunately, Golding just couldn't get it out of his strides, because that would have been an easy tap in the net. So it was great to see the confidence he was playing with. And it was nice to see even David Washington getting some minutes. I felt like you can still see his rawness. I think there was a moment where he could have made it 5, but there was a bit of a reluctance to get hit, to feel the pain from that. And there wasn't much conviction behind his attempts on goal or to square it to a teammate. I wasn't too sure. But for me, I think it's a nice reminder that, listen, Pochettino, if you want to keep this team fit and healthy, have confidence in using the academy. Have confidence in balancing out minutes to keep the overall freshness and fitness of the team up. They're good enough. They're ready. They're not going to play 30 games this season, but when you have to use them in confidence and to stop this mistrust. So it was nice to see, the young guys today, making good impressions, in my opinion. And I hope you see more of the same going forward, my friends. But you know what? It's nice to know that we've just absolutely thrashed Preston. And it gives me greater confidence when we play against Middlesbrough. I think Middlesbrough over 2 legs, these are 2 winnable games over both legs, in my opinion. And the fact that we're finding the back of the net a bit more frequently, the fact that we're seeing maybe a bit more flow and a bit more understanding in terms of teammates finding solutions on the field. Like, for example, when Noni came on, I really felt like he brought so much impact when he was cutting inside, playing people in behind, driving towards goal inside the box. And these are the type of actions I want to see more of. But I think one thing I want to see less of in 2024 is centre-backs at full-backs, or players who aren't full-backs playing full-back. Listen, against Preston Road, it's going to work, but against better opposition, I don't know how well we do in second halves against a better caliber, in my opinion. But anyway, my friends, I can keep going on, but I'll just see you guys tomorrow with some more videos. Hit that like button if you guys are gassed by the win today. And without wasting any more time, I'm Nini FC. This is BlueLionsTV. I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more videos.